Hey guys, Zen here, and North Star is going down as a landmark season for Rainbow Six Siege. If you're just joining us or are returning after some time away, we're getting into the biggest changes for the season, but also some of the smaller essential updates so you get the most out of this content. Now, the amount of information that's come out about this season has honestly been everywhere, and so on top of everything that is coming in North Star, we're also going to speak on the stuff that's not here. So guys, there's a list of 9 things to get to. Let's get into this. Now, I want to thank Ubisoft for sponsoring the video, and they want you guys to know that from June 14th through August 30th, the North Star Battle Pass will be available in-game. It features 100 tiers of exclusive cosmetics, including weapon skins, charms, and more. Also, Thunderbird is the new defender added to Siege with her Kona station, which fires health nuggets to nearby players. With the premium track, you'll have 2-week early access to Thunderbird before she comes available to all players. So, if you're ready to get involved, Rainbow Six Siege is on sale now for up to 70% off, and so get in the game and play with your friends today. Click the link in the description to learn more. So, starting off with number 1 is the biggest buff to secondary SMGs that's really ever happened. So both the Bearing 9 and the SMG-12 have gotten major recoil adjustments, and they feel just perfect now. As you guys know, the SMG-12 had some of the most unpredictable and sporadic recoil throughout the game and was very challenging to handle. The Bearing 9 was decent in short bursts, but it started to pull away deeply if you ever held the trigger down. And it got to the point for me where on ops with it, I took the pistol over it instead, but not anymore. They've made them just buttery to shoot, and for the operators that have them in their loadout, it serves as a nice buff. But there is one operator in particular who will see the most benefit here, and that's Warden. One of the biggest complaints about Warden is his pretty underwhelming loadout. The MPX is fine, and even better with a 1.5, but it's a pea shooter. And then if you went with the shotgun, you were basically forced out of the SMG-12 and into the pistol because of the recoil. But here in North Star, all that goes away, and I think the standard for a Warden loadout will be the shotgun and now the SMG-12. You have the destruction and the up-close lethality of the M59 shotgun, and medium-range encounters are finally doable with the SMG-12. And so out of all the operators this buff affects, low-key, I think Warden got the best deal. Number 2 comes to the Defuser, and now you'll have to manually pick it up. Now, this, I think, is one of those quality of life changes that goes a long way. The Defuser can be a pesky item in the round, because if you lose track of it, the entire strategy can fall apart. If there's one thing to pay close attention to, it's the Defuser, and there are so many scenarios where it messes up a team. The one that hits me the most is actually being unaware that I'm the guy with it. This happens a lot, where one of your teammates has it, and just before they entry frag, they drop it on top of you while you're on a drone. And yeah, it is a healthy strat because you don't want them to just hand it to defense if they get taken out. But sometimes it just goes way over your head that you're now in control of it. Making it a manual pickup forces you to acknowledge that you're picking it up. And when you're aware that you have it, things are simplified. Also, it adds to the team's ability to work together because you can't just put it on someone randomly anymore. The squad will have to talk it out and figure out exactly who's picking it up. It'll become second nature as time goes on, but here and now, it's brand new. And I think it's actually one of the most important changes in ranked before you jump in. At number 3 is the nerf to a couple fraggers, namely Ashe and Vigil. I think with North Star, the goal for some of the devs is to rearrange this meta. If you didn't know, Jaeger got hammered with a 416 nerf that finally lowered his pick rate, and now Ashe and Vigil are being targeted. Ashe's R4C has a lot more recoil, like not just a small tweak, it's a noticeable increase to the weapon's initial kick, and it honestly feels totally different. This change is so big because people have mastered Ashe's R4C over the years, and with a 99% pick rate with the weapon, literally no one ever gave the G36C a try. But I think if you care about your rank, you're kind of forced to, because the G36C is far more manageable. As for Vigil, it hits a bit less. The K1A has some more recoil, but not nearly as much as the R4, and it's still totally viable. Of course, he does have the SMG-12, so the buff to his secondary makes up for it, and so even though the K1A isn't as good, I think it might even make Vigil a little bit better than before. Number 4 is the rework to bullet holes. So we all know the story. You drone out an entire floor before you head in, and there's that one guy who's got a single bullet hole at the very bottom of a wall, and right as you jump in, he takes you out. It's a story as old as Siege, but fortunately, it's done for. You can no longer see through one single bullet hole, and on top of that, if you do manage to create a hole large enough to see through, it'll be more obvious to the player on the other side of it, because they've made them larger. Bullet holes gave a new meaning to a cheeky kill in Rainbow Six Siege, because up until this point, they were nearly invisible, and there's no way to really predict it. But if they did anything with this rework, it was make the interaction more fair, because at least now you have a fighting chance. Next at number 5 is Thunderbird, and man, she is game-changing. And guys, a quick reminder that you can get Thunderbird instantly in the premium track of the Battle Pass with 2-week early access. The North Star Battle Pass runs from June 14th through August 30th and has exclusive gear throughout all 100 tiers. And if it's your first time, you can pick up Rainbow Six Siege at up to 70% off. But yeah, the Kona station is one of my personal favorite gadgets on defense, and it's because of how it's balanced. Of course, Thunderbird is is a defensive healer, and once you place a Kona station, it'll heal whoever walks by it for the entire round. There's nothing that can really stop it from doing its thing other than destroying it, and so it's a constant and reliable way to aid your team. But it also benefits the attackers, healing them as well. So being a Thunderbird is also about map knowledge and location. On Bank, for instance, in server, you can have a guy hanging out in blue, and it might be smart to give him a Kona station, but it's also the room on the map that the attackers can quickly gain control of and turn over the round. And so giving them that room with a Kona station included isn't an ideal solution. My theory is to make it accessible, but also avoidable. The key really is to put it in places where people must purposefully visit if they want a health nugget. It's important to note that there is a small amount of intel given away with each shot, and so keeping it in high traffic areas could give a hurt defender away or lead an attacker right up to Thunderbird's gadget. You'll also learn quickly about how frequently these things overheal, because people are always running into them with full health or at the start of the round, and then are out of luck if they're actually hurt and need a shot. The balance is tricky, and I love that it's more up to Thunderbird and how she maps these things out over people just walking up and manually taking health whenever they see fit. Now, her loadout is amazing on defense, and with 3 speed and a shotgun, she's super versatile. Play at home and anchor down with the spear, or go on a roam with a station, the shotgun, and a bearing 9. So far, she's been nothing but a useful pick on defense, and I think she's gonna go down as one of the best operators in year 6. 6 on the list is the Finka rework. Finka now gives actual health. Like, if you're already at max health, then it overheals you and is still temporary, but anything less than full, and it's permanently added to your health, and is now the attacker's first true healer. Finka has always been a super solid operator, but the opportunity to have an impact on your team was always so limited by the fact that her boost is only temporary. If you're all working together and you decide to make a push led by a Finka, then a boost will help the whole team at once and benefit everyone. But if an Ashe is rushing in and she calls out for Finka to boost, then she's really the only one who benefits, while the rest of you could be boosted sitting outside on drones. At least now, when Finka uses her gadget, everyone gets a nice bit of health to add to the rest of the round, and just like Doc, she gets 3 boosts to support the entire attacking side. It's powerful, like one of the best gadgets on attack now, if for no other reason than it's still global and still comes with all the other effects it's always had. Number 7 is Shattered Glass, and this one has been a very touchy subject. Both Mira and Maestro now feature Shattered Glass, where basically any operator can walk up to either an Evil Eye or a Black Mirror and crack the glass with a melee. It makes it impossible to see out of them and cripples those defenses. For Mira, it's not so bad, because there is the dilemma of actually getting close enough to melee, although using a smoke grenade can help with that. Maestro, though, has to come up with an all-new strategy, because leaving turrets outside of the objective is just asking for the cam to be shattered. I've said it in the past, but I do like how Maestro will kind of have to bring his gadgets on site if he wants them to last, which is kind of a new way of thinking about the op. But it's a big change for sure, and there's no telling how many operators it'll affect in the future. Next at 8 is Scoreboard 2.0. You're able to see all the usual stuff, like kills, deaths, and rounds won, but they're also adding which operators are banned in the match and the outcome of each round, so you're always in touch with the flow of the match. It's a nice upgrade. And finally, at number 9 is a change to Rook, where putting on his armor vest is now a part of the gadget animation. Basically, as you go to drop the armor, it isn't fully complete until Rook places on his vest, which means that Rook will never go without putting on his own armor. It's short and sweet and does all thick boy Rook mains proud. So those are 9 things we get now, but what's not here with North Star? The first and most important are activities after death. If you're worried about dead guys cruising around drones, it's not here. Yet. It is the biggest change for the future of Siege and is still being worked on, and so when you're taken out, you're out. Nock's buff is also not making its way to the new season either, but they did update it so that Nock doesn't have the quiet of footsteps she always had. If you didn't know, Nock is getting ready for a buff that makes her immune to setting off proximity-based gadgets while her hell is active, and to further balance it out, she also makes just as much sound as every other operator now. It's honestly an amazing buff to her, and the one I think she needs, but those are the big updates that are getting more time. And that's it, guys. Here's another thank you to Ubisoft for sponsoring, and guys, remember to subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video. With that, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Hey, I'm out.